Hi, we're group 13 and I'm Laurel.
I'm Katie.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Hope. And we're doing our project over the social exchange theory.
So there are three components that make up social exchange theory: outcome value, comparison level, and comparison level of alternatives. This approach is used to explain and predict relationship maintenance, and this theory was developed by Thiebaud and Kelly in 1959 and clarifies when and why individuals take into account how satisfied you will be with the relationship you choose to maintain. All in all, social exchange theory explains and predicts an individual's decision to maintain or de-escalate a particular relationship. Specifically, people evaluate the rewards and costs associated with remaining in the relationships while also considering their expectations and other alternatives. Today we are going to demonstrate social exchange theory with three different outcomes. We will describe these different types of relationships in our video.
The social exchange theory explains when and why people decide to continue to develop some personal relationships while ending other personal relationships. Much like an economic theory based on costs and rewards, the social exchange theory evaluates personal relationships based on the costs and rewards of that relationship. Therefore, the outcome of a relationship is the ratio of rewards to cost, or if you want to look at it as a simple mathematical equation, it's rewards minus cost equal outcome. The rewards of a relationship are anything you see as beneficial, enjoyable, or help you achieve something. For example, rewards between a married couple might be companionship, affection, having a joint savings account, sharing a pet, and the pro of having another person help you out with taking care of the house and taking turns cooking and everything. Having a spouse can be a reward in the way that your spouse can help you run the house and lessen the workload compared to if you had to cook, clean, and pay the bills all alone. Relational costs, on the other hand, are the opposite of rewards and benefits. Relational costs are drawbacks you perceive as unpleasant, not enjoyable, or prevent you from pursuing or achieving something. For example, some relationships cost of a married couple could be having to negotiate whose in-laws you're going to visit on Christmas. Maybe this time you have to visit your spouse's catty family instead of your own family, and that's an unpleasant cost. Or say you want to go to law school to pursue your career in law, but you have to put law school on hold because your spouse has to stay in a certain city due to their job. This prevents you from pursuing and achieving one of your goals, which is relational cost. Now, what individual people see as costs and rewards will vary between relationships, but the main idea is that a person does hope that the rewards of a relationship will outweigh the cost, resulting in a positive outcome value or a positive relationship. On the other hand, if an individual thinks that the relationship has more drawbacks than benefits, this will result in a negative outcome value. So if you take all the rewards you perceive in a relationship and add up all the costs and take the difference of the two, that will give you an evaluation of your relationship.
This comparison level graph found in the book is a clear way of defining the status and stability of relationships. The vertical lines represent value in a relationship. The higher up you move on the vertical line, the higher or more beneficial is the outcome. It shows the outcome of the relationship in terms of the comparison level and the comparison level alternative. Depending on where the outcome lies on the vertical line dictates the status and stability of the relationship. If you take a look at the graph on the left side, you will find a satisfactory and stable relationship. This is because the outcome lies above the comparison level, which makes the relationship satisfactory, but the outcome also lies above the comparison level alternative, which makes it stable because there are no other options that outweigh the outcome. If you look at the middle, you'll find a satisfactory and unstable relationship in which the outcome is better than the comparison level, which makes it satisfactory, but is unstable because the alternatives are better than the outcome that you're receiving. If you look to the right of the graph, you'll find that the outcome is below the comparison level, which makes it unsatisfactory, but above the alternatives. So in this part, your options are worse than your current status, but you have something higher to compare it to, which makes it unsatisfactory, but stable.
Okay, so now I'm going to discuss the comparison level. The second core element of social exchange here is the comparison level. This represents the rewards a person expects to receive in a particular relationship. One expectations may be based on models for relationships, one's own experiences with relationships, television and other media representations. Now, it's important to understand what you expect in a relationship because social exchange theory maintains that individuals compare their current outcome value with their comparison level. In other words, if you perceive more rewards than costs in your relationship and this matches or exceeds your expectations for the relationship, social exchange theory predicts satisfaction. On the other hand, if you perceive more rewards than costs in a relationship, but expected to receive even more rewards than you currently have, a sense of dissatisfaction is predicted. Overall, predicting one's satisfaction with a relationship is based on a positive outcome value that also meets or exceeds one's expectations.
Determining someone's satisfaction or dissatisfaction in a relationship is simply not enough to determine whether that relationship will continue or end. We all have someone in our lives who is unhappy in one of their relationships, whether that be a friendship or an intimate relationship. Despite their dissatisfaction, they remain in the relationship regardless. The social exchange theory determines that for any relationship to continue or end, individuals must also examine the relationship comparison level alternatives. This simply means, what are your alternatives for being in that relationship? Would ending that relationship be better than your current situation? When the alternatives are perceived better than the outcome and better than the comparison level, then that relationship will ultimately end. More satisfactory relationships have outcomes greater than the comparison level, and more stable relationships have outcomes greater than the comparison level alternatives, as shown in the earlier chart. However, even if you are satisfied in a current relationship, you may perceive that your alternatives are even better, resulting in the termination of that said relationship. The comparison level alternative is clearly a crucial piece in understanding relationship stability. For example, abusive relationships. Most people cannot comprehend why someone would voluntarily stay in an abusive and undesirable relationship. The outcomes in these relationships are often much less than the comparison level. However, they can be greater than the comparison level alternatives, which provides some insight as to why these people might remain in such toxic relationships.
So to reiterate the purpose of the graph and how it clearly defines the status and stability of relationships in terms of the outcome, comparison level, and comparison level alternative. If the outcome is greater than the comparison level, this creates a satisfactory relationship. If the outcome is greater than the comparison level alternative, this creates stability within a relationship. If there's a lack of stability or satisfaction, it is due to the outcome being less than the comparison level or the comparison level alternative. Overall, as a result, you can assume that if the outcome is greater than the comparison level alternative, the members of the relationship will stay in the relationship. However, if the outcome is less than the alternatives but greater than the comparison level, the relationship will be terminated because there's a better option. Here, we will start to portray the examples of what these would look like in everyday and real-life relationships and situations. Here, we will act out what a satisfactory and stable relationship looks like. You'll see the boyfriend picking up the girlfriend and bringing her flowers to take their dog on a walk in the park. The boyfriend and girlfriend are very happy in the relationship. The outcome of this relationship is above both the comparison level and the comparison level alternative, creating a satisfactory and both stable relationship for the happy couple. Here, we will act out how the relationship is still satisfactory because it is above the comparison level, but the option of not being in the relationship or the comparison level alternative is actually more desirable and can make you happier than being in that relationship.
Hey, babe.
Hey Jack, I was wondering if you can make it in town for our formal tonight.
Actually, I have a ton of studying to do, and it's like 5 hours away.
Oh, okay. Do you mind if I take one of my guy friends as my date?
That kind of makes me kind of uncomfortable. Is it okay if we just wait until my formal next week?
Yeah, sure. I'll just see you next weekend.
Okay. I'm excited to see you.
All right,
Have
I'm
a
excited
good
to
night.
see you too. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Hey, are you ready for formal?
No, I can't go. Jack can't make it in town, and he doesn't feel comfortable with me asking someone else.
Well, you know, if you weren't dating Jack, then you'd be able to come with us and we'd have a great night.
I heard.
In this last example, we will act out an abusive relationship that is not satisfactory, but we will show you how the option of not being in that relationship is actually worse, creating a stable relationship.
So why didn't you come to my formal?
Well, why would I drive 5 hours just to come to some stupid dance with you? You obviously need me more than I need you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I drove all the way here to come see you.
Yeah, but what would you be doing if you weren't here with me?
Dude, I'm so glad that Katie's not here tonight.
Honestly, she's such a fake friend, and if it wasn't for her boyfriend, I don't think she'd have anybody.
She would have no one to hang out with.
I mean, I guess you're right. If I wasn't here, I'd just be sitting at home alone, bored, not really doing anything.
I told you.